There's a quote from an Indigenous woman that I completely misunderstood for years, and I think that if more of us had understood it, we would not be in this mess that we're in. Lilla Watson said, "If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." She said this to a room of white women at a women's conference in 1985. And when I first heard this quote as a 22-year-old white graduate student from the Midwest, I thought, what is this woman talking about? Of course we have to help her. White people have all the resources and money and education to make her life better. Why would she not want our help? It seems kind of rude. It wasn't until I got much older that I started to understand, one, that it was white folks that created her situation in the first place, but two, why and how our liberation is bound up together. And I think that white folks are really starting to see what she meant. If we had listened to Indigenous women and seen our liberation as bound up with them, maybe we wouldn't be in this climate crisis. If we had been listening to BIPOC women who have been telling us for generations that we live in a fascist country that will indiscriminately pull people out of their homes, shoot them in the street, and then lie and say that they were violent criminals and it was their fault, maybe it wouldn't be happening now. But we didn't, because we didn't see our liberation as bound up with those people. When it was happening to Black and brown people, most white folks, and I have to say, myself included, just thought, well, this is just the way it is. We did not see that these are people and this should not be happening. It wasn't happening to us, so we didn't see like we had to do anything about it. We didn't see that our fates are inextricably connected. We didn't understand, as Dr. King said, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I hope that we are really starting to see that our liberation is bound together, because if we don't change, we might make it through this crisis. But it's just going to come back again. After I read Braiding Sweetgrass, I had this thought of if we would all just shut the fuck up and listen to Indigenous women and do what they tell us and follow them, we might have a chance of getting out of this mess. So that is what I am trying to do. Go and listen and learn from the people who have been telling us that there is a problem, and realizing that the world that so many of these people envision is a world that would be better for all of us. That our liberation is bound up together.